IPF and CNBC TV18 present Commodity Classroom.
MCX, IPF and CNBC TV18 presenting to you Commodity Classroom. Well, the theme of the day clearly is bullion today, and we will put a lot of spotlight on gold this time around. Only as a class actually which has given you positive returns in this year. When you look at global equity markets, they're trading in negative. Indian equity markets trading in negative. Most of the currency markets, the trades also have turned around. But bullion and gold rather is the only one which has given you positive returns. We will get our panelists on board. There are various stakeholders within the bullion business, and we'll talk about on how they are utilizing gold as a possibility when it comes to hedging, trading or even investing. We will of course have a panel, but before that I would want to invite Shivanshu Mehta. He will set the context for the conversation today, and then of course we will go ahead with the conversation. Shivanshu.
Any exchange is actually serving not only investors, not only traders, but one of the most important aspects is the physical industries that we represent, the physical industries that our commodities and contracts represent. So the most prominent asset class when it comes to global macroeconomics, as well as especially the Indian tradition.
Present Commodity Classroom.
Association. Mr. Saurabh Gadgil is MD and CEO, PNG Jewelers. We also have with us Gautam Choksi, who's Executive Director at Hindustan Platinum, and Dilip Narayanan is Head Bullion and Treasury with Malabar Group. You know, gold, as we have been discussing, has been the talk of the town. The kind of returns that we've seen, the kind of movement that has come in, $100 of a move in a matter of a week is something that gold hasn't done in a very, very long time, and very strong returns as well coming in. So Shivanshu, starting with you first, you mentioned about options. You also, we've seen great investment, great participation come in on the markets as well. How have you seen the year gone by?
If you look at options, they took birth in 2017 with the launch of the gold 1 kg option.
MCX, IPF and CNBC TV18 present Commodity Classroom.
Saurabh, as Dilip also said that, you know, with the price disparity that we see sometimes, how has happened for silver as well? All-time high imports last year. This year has been slightly on the lower side. Big disparity, big discounts here as well.
You know, for silver, being a good delivery refiner, the number of refineries in India is limited. And even for, in the physical market, when we see the options for a consumer, right, with metal prices where they are, gold touching 60 lakhs a kilo and silver close to 70,000, if you think about it, the wholesale bars, right, a 30 kilo bars north of 20 lakhs and a kilo of silver, even if you count the smaller one, is, you know, close to 6 lakhs. So delivery options, you know, when people want for investors, you know, one is the physical market and you can hedge and, you know, protect your price risk. But on the physical side, you know, options are limited for customers. And while there are, you know, always concerns of the purity of the metal people are buying, for HNIs and ultra HNIs is one option, but for the retail investor, at least there is options of buying smaller denominations, you know, be it a 1 gram or an 8 gram contract. And even for the silver kilobar contracts from good delivery refiners is, I think, one of a kind in the world. So it gives options to anyone, right? To anyone as little as 70,000 rupees, you can, you know, buy a kilo of silver and be guaranteed of the purity.
So huge work done, and because everybody spoke about good delivery, why don't you elaborate on that further? How has that worked? What are the rules and norms that you follow in for that one?
In lines with the Atmanirbhar Bharat mission, we wanted to enable the quality local refiners who are...
And what are the hedging trends that you foresee going forward?
With advent of digital, of course, the physical is always there, and I think physical will always be king. People want to have that touch and feel of the metal, but I think, you know, what tends to happen in the smaller denominations is people tend to pay a higher premium and get stuck with that, and when they go back to a jeweler or to get it made into jewelry, they tend to lose that. But that being said, I think the smaller investment bars are seem to be in good demand now. Even on the exchange, as I said earlier, 1 gram, 8 gram, 100 gram for gold. But even smaller silver bars, right? We've seen good interest in, which is not a clear product, but a 100 gram cast bar of silver. So even smaller kind of denomination where there is keen interest. As far as, hedging goes on the international market, I think this uncertainty and, geopolitical tensions is going to be, that's going to be taking center stage for the next few weeks. And I think volatility is here to stay. So I think that's something we have to deal with, and exchanges will certainly help, de-risk that to some extent.
Thank you, panelists, as well. This has been a great conversation, and we really appreciate your time here. Thank you so much.
MCX IPF and CNBC TV18 present Commodity Classroom.